Hey YouTube. Alright, I'm up in my woods on my property. And as you can see, I'm chopping some trees down. What I'm trying to do is clear out an area. I got a project in mind. I'm not going to say when I'm going to get it done, if I get it done. But this is what my plan is. The property I own is on a hill. Fairly, steep. Can't see it from here, but right past this little hill it drops down in the valley, and that's where I do my shooting videos sometimes when you see me shooting rifles and stuff. Anyway, it's way down there. But what my plan is I need to clear a path. I mean, not that rainwater couldn't fall through here, but I want to clear it up as best I can. And I want to put, it's a bold plan. It really ain't going to cost that much money, but it's going to be a lot of work. If nothing else, getting the containers and stuff up here. I know you can't see it, but down there is my house. I'm roughly about 50 foot above my house right now. And for my research, I'm high enough right here, which I could go on up, but I get a better shot. I can keep on going uphill and probably get 100 foot above. But anyway, my plan is to put the big, like the 275 gallon water drums. Like I already have one hooked to the gutter on my house, and so I got some water. But what I want to do, it may be a bold plan, but this idea, and I'm going to work on it. It might be a year before I get it done, but this is my plan. Get at least 4 containers, 4 of those. Have over 1,000 gallons of water up here. I'm going to build a little shed. I say shed, but just a little, really just a really basic little shed thing right above them, and use tin or maybe the plastic roofing material. Put a gutter on it. Have that feed the barrels. All right. And I don't have city sewage, so if worst case scenario I have my water up here, I'm going to plumb it down to my house. So that's going to be a job in itself, because I'm going to have to use like mattocks and shovels. I don't have the equipment to do it, and plus it's up on I'm in the woods on a hill. It's going to be hard to do that anyway. So it's kind of a long-term project, but I'm going to pipe it down to my house. I'm going to have to bury it to keep it from freezing, even if it's just a little bit buried. Pipe it down to my house, and all I have to do is my outside faucet is above my water cutoff. Cut my water off, hook a hose up to my faucet, outside faucet, and then that will water my house. I will have water coming out of my sinks. I will have water coming out of going to my toilets. And like I say, I got a septic tank, so I don't have to rely on city sewage for my toilets to work. Big plus, big plus. So even if it's a short-term disaster, I would have running water. So I think that's a pretty good project to take on. It's probably hard to say. I mean, I've been cutting down little trees left and right. Now I'm about to cut down this little tree. And I know you can't really tell it, but most of the limbs are on this side. The tree itself is actually leaning toward me a little bit, but I think the weight of all those leaves and stuff, I'm going to try to make it fall that way. And what I'll do, I'm going to let them all lay here for a few months, let them cure out, dry out a little bit, let the leaves rot off of them, saw it up, and then there's firewood for my wood stove. I heat my house with wood, so it's going to be a job to get it back down to the house, but is free. All it costs me is a little labor and a little gasoline, and a lot of muscle. And I really need to cut down that big son of a gun there. Not sure if I'm gonna do that today or not. I may go ahead and cut that one that's leaning. You know, that won't be no problem to get it to fall that way. It's already leaning that way. Well, let me get the camera set up and I'll try to show you how I was taught to cut down a tree. Be right. Alright. See if I can do this without crushing one of my cameras. And I got some bad gas. I say bad, it's a little bit old. I think I grabbed the wrong can. So bear with me if the chainsaw acts up a little bit. It normally runs flawlessly. But this is how I was showed how to cut a tree down. What I'm going to do, I want the tree to fall this way, so I'm going to put a wedge right here. Just cut a little pie slice out of it. And then I'm going to come back on this side above that pie slice, and I'm going to cut down diagonal. And that should make the tree want to fall this way. If a tree's fairly straight up and down, you can pretty much make it fall where you want. If it's got a little angle, all you can do is hope to, if the tree's leaning this way, all you can hope to do is maybe make it fall that way or that way. But you're not going to make it fall that way. Not just cutting at it anyway. So let's see how it goes. Got a little lean that way get the idea. That's another one I had to cut down anyway, so that'll make it a little more interesting when I cut it down. But it's already leaning that way, so it shouldn't be a big deal. That opened up a little more area for rainwater to fall down. If I use the plastic type, you know, the corrugated or whatever they call it, plastic roofing, shouldn't have to worry about contamination as much. It'll be pure rainwater flowing down. Now for cooking, it probably would be better to go ahead and filter it or boil it or whatever first, just to make sure. but for bathing and the toilet, as long as you're using soap and just a touch of bleach, if you have it still, you should be wash dishes, whatever you need to do. Wash your hands. I mean, rainwater coming off the roof goes down those tar shingles. If you have regular shingles, that water's going to be a little bit contaminated. So I think it's a little bit of a bold project for me, but something I've been thinking about, and I hope I can get it done. I'm gonna work out a little bit at a time, when time and money allows. But I think it's a worthwhile project to put some effort into. So, see you later, YouTube.